Hello and welcome to my channel. If you like DIYs, farmhouse decor, upcycling, and more, you've come to the right place. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Hi everyone! So today I'm going to be making a fall or autumn themed home decor piece, and you know what? I think autumn sounds so much prettier than fall. What do you think? Anyways, let me know down in the comments. I know it's a weird question. But anyways, I'm going to be using this wood pumpkin that I got from the Dollar Tree. And I got this a couple of years ago, so I don't know if they still have these. But I do know some people have been using something similar to this in some videos that I've seen. And I'm also going to be using from the Dollar Tree, again from a couple years ago, hold on right here, there we go, this is metal Harvest. And I was torn because they also have Thankful. And the other one is Welcome, which did not fit. But my hubby and I talked it over and we decided we are going to go with Harvest. And you're probably wondering, well, what's this laying back here? Well, this is cut off from a pair of jeans. So this is kind of a pant leg, you know, just one side of a pant leg. And I am going to be using that. But first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go outside and I'm going to be using this Krylon Fusion metallic copper spray paint. I am going to be spray painting Harvest, but I'm also going to be spray painting one side of this pumpkin. Just one side, because the other side I'm going to be using this on. Okay, let me go get the spraying done and I'll be right back. Okay, and now it's sprayed, and you may be wondering why I sprayed the back of it. And one reason is because I thought it looked better than just the plain wood. And the other reason is I might just decide to make this, hold on here, a double-sided pumpkin that I could have facing one direction or the other. And here is the Harvest, all painted beautifully. And so what I'm going to be doing next is, on this side, I'm actually going to outline it with my Beacon Fabri-Tac. And then I am going to spray it with this spray adhesive. And the reason I'm doing it this way is because Beacon Fabri-Tac is a permanent adhesive, and I'm sure this one is as well. But I like the Beacon Fabri-Tac so that I know for sure it's going to give me a nice permanent seal around the edge, where this will give me full coverage over the entire thing. And then once I have that on there, I'm going to turn this over so that this is the back side, and I'm going to be putting it right on there in such a way that it fits like that. Okay, so I'm going to go do that off camera because I can't spray this around my laptop or my camera or anything, and I will be right back. Okay, I've got the adhesives on and I've got it on the piece of denim, and this is the right side, and I'm just going to be giving it some pressure to make sure that all of the glue adheres the denim to the piece of wood. And I'm going to let that sit for a minute, and then I'm going to grab some scissors. Not sure which ones I'm going to use, but I think if these will cut it, it'll go around the corners easier. And I'm just going to go trim off all of that, and then we'll be ready to move on to the next step. I just love the way that the denim looks on there. And before I go any further, before I forget, there's that hole right there, and I don't want to lose it. So I am going to take my little pokey tool here, and I am just going to poke right through there. Hopefully I get it all in the right spot. Yep, I did. Okay, so the hole is back, and it's on both sides, so that's good. And now, next I'm going to take this twine, and I'm just going to create the little pumpkin lines. Make this look more like a pumpkin. And in order to do that, I'm going to be drawing the lines so I know exactly where I want to go. And I needed something as a guide for that. And so this may sound stupid, but this is a frame from Michael's. I think they sell these at the Dollar Tree also. And this oval frame just happens to fit perfectly right where I need it. So I have a pencil here, and I'm going to actually have to move this closer to me. So I don't know if it'll end up off camera, but I need to be able to have my head up here in your way to do this. And you know what? I think it's going to be easier, instead of having my head there and this half off camera, I'm just going to do this off camera, and I'll be right back. Okay, that was much easier off camera, and as you can see, I have the pencil line going right there, and that is going to be my guide. Now, I'm going to be really honest with you. I would rather use my Fabri-Tac to do this, but to hold that twine in place, I don't think that this is going to work. I mean, it would hold it there permanently, but I just think that it might get really messy with me trying to make sure that the twine stays in place. So I am going to be using my handy dandy hot glue gun from Monvic, which I really like, and it does really fine lines, which is what we're going to be needing. And so I don't want this whole roll following me around, so I'm going to cut off some pieces here that might be about the right size, maybe a little bit bigger, but at least I'm not dealing with the whole roll. So I'm just going to try to get an idea here of what I'm going to need and have a little bit extra there that I can always trim off later. So there's that. I'm going to cut another one here so that I have that ready to go for the other side. And I don't know about you, but I actually love twine. There's just something rustic and country about it, and I'm all into rustic and country and farmhouse decor. I live in a log home, but I live in the middle of the country with, you know, wildlife and cows and cowboys. So I kind of have all of those things going at one time here. All right, so let's get started here with the glue gun. And now that I have got that done, I'm now going to take the twine and I am going to go all the way around the edges of this. And then after that, I'm going to wrap the stem with the twine. So, a lot of hot gluing and twining going on here. And I will probably just speed it up and cut parts of it out because it might get long and boring if I don't. I have got the edges wrapped, and I discovered that was really difficult to do on camera since I had to hold it upright like that. But now it's time to wrap the twine around the stem and make sure that I don't lose that little hole there. And to do that, I'm actually going to be using a combination of Fabri-Tac and the hot glue gun. So I'm going to start off with the hot glue gun to keep things in place, and then I'm going to finish off with the hot glue gun, but everything in between will be Fabri-Tac. So let's get started. So sorry you didn't get to see very much of me wrapping the twine there, but it was actually hilarious as the Fabri-Tac and the hot glue were both sticking to my fingers and just making a mess, and it was sticking to the twine. And anyways, I finally had to shut off the camera for a minute to clean my hands off, and I forgot to turn it back on. But there you go. I just wrapped it with twine, as you can see there on both sides. And now, let's see, well, it's starting to look like a pumpkin, right? Okay, so what I'm going to do next is I am going to be putting this harvest right across the center of it. And because the twine causes it to be raised a little bit on the edges, I'm just going to go spray it with that spray adhesive and just glue it right on there so that it has really good coverage. And of course, as I've said, I can't spray around the camera or laptop, so I'm going to go do that off camera, and I'm going to be right back, and we're going to get to work on decorating the stem. And there it is. And again, this is the spray adhesive that I used. I love this stuff. I use it often. So next I'm going to use this raffia. I've got 3 long strands of it here, probably more than I need. And I'm just going to come in and wrap it around a few times here. Let's see here. Okay, that ought to be good. And hopefully I left enough to tie. And I'm just going to tie a bow. Okay, this is one of those moments where I put on the brakes, back it up, and change my plans. So, I am not tying this in a bow. I've actually glued it down, and I'll be trimming off some of this here in a little bit, but I decided it was really too bulky when I put that bow up there. And by the way, yeah, I got it finished. And I trimmed the ends. I like to trim them at an angle. You know, you can trim them any way you want or not trim them at all. But I got that done. But yeah, that's the new plan. And also, this is actually a new plan because I was going to put leaves up here, but I was going to do some copper die cut leaves. And instead, I have these leaves that I took off from this garland I got a couple years ago at the Dollar Tree, and I decided that they were just prettier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hot glue these down, and then we're going to put that bow on, and guess what? It will be done. Okay, so let's see here. Let me just grab my hot glue gun. Hopefully it's ready. I just turned it back on a minute ago, so let me see here. Okay, let's put a little hot glue right along there and get this put on there like so. Okay, and then let's see. Excuse me, I had a cough there. Okay, let me put a little bit more hot glue right around there, and I'll stick this one right up here in the middle, kind of middle. Yeah, I should get one of those finger things to hold this down with, right? Me and hot glue just don't get along. I hate using it, and yet I'm using it a lot on this particular project. So, put a little bit more hot glue right over here. And stick this one right over here, like so. Oh yeah, hot glue. I'm telling you, my favorite stuff is Beacon. It's not hot. And it's permanent. It works great. But this stuff is making a mess because it's sticking to my fingers. So I'm going to have to put a little bit more hot glue down here on this one. And maybe, just maybe, no. That's why, because I kind of have it off the stem a little bit. Well, it's okay. So, we've got the leaves on there, looking good, right? And I'm going to trim up some of these pieces here. I want to leave some on there, though. I just like them sticking out, but obviously, you know, not that much. So, I don't know. Let me trim these down and see if I can get everything laying just so. Where's that other one at? And I'll trim it off about right there. And I may have to work with this a little bit if they're going the wrong direction, but no problem. Okay, we've got that down, and now it's time to put this on. And I had actually left enough of this to tie around it, or not necessarily tie around it, but hot glue it in the back. So let me give that a try here. Hopefully I could do this on camera so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, come here, hot glue gun. Come here. Trying to do this one-handed. Put a little bit more glue right there. And bring this piece across. Ow, that hurts. Holy cow. Okay, let me make a few adjustments here so we can actually see that stem up at the top. There we go. Get this all fluffed out the way it's supposed to be. And I think I'm going to have to trim some off right here in the back. Just trim these little pieces off. Get rid of those. And there we go. Leave a little bit of that hanging around. What do you think? Do you think it came out okay? I kind of think it did, but it's hard to tell on camera. Why don't I go get this, sit up, or actually poke that hole back through and hang this up and see what it looks like hanging on the wall. I really like the way this turned out, and it was fun to make. I'm really loving making fall home decor projects, and I hope that this has given you some ideas of your own. Thank you all so much for stopping by, and happy crafting, everyone. Bye-bye. If you like this video, I hope you give it a thumbs up, and if you're not already subscribed, I hope you consider that too. And if you do, be sure to click the little bell next to the subscribe button so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos or giveaways. And I hope you stop by Crafters Castle on Facebook and also Crafters Castle Challenge blog to enter your creations.